Planet Vero Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach. Cindy Grossman. New York City born and raised, luxury retail management was her game. Saks Fifth Avenue and Nordstrom were her jewelry playgrounds. Had enough at 38, fled to Miami, where Neiman Marcus Bal Harbour found her. Recruited to Mont Blanc, where her regional position challenged her. Met her husband 4 years ago, and Brevard County she did go. COVID hit, she needed a new career fit. Age-defying beauty with Mary Kay, she did say. And now, here's Cindy Grossman.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Mesmerize the Mirror at Any Age. Today we're changing things up a little bit. I have someone sitting in for my co-host today. I have Kristen Heath.
Hello.
The infamous esthetician at Skinergy. So thank you so much for being here. And Jesse, thanks so much for always keeping us in line and making sure everything goes smoothly.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we gave Mitch a little time off, so I hope he's having a good time.
Just the ladies and Jesse today.
That's right. Yeah. So we were going around thinking what's a good topic for the ladies and Jesse to talk about, and we came up with one that we constantly contemplate. Well, I know I do. I don't think Kristen does just yet, and I don't think Jesse does either. When is it time to go under the knife?
Or is it ever time?
Or is it ever time for beautification? You know, plastic surgery, it's a big step, I would think. And I think, unfortunately, in nowadays, people don't take it so seriously. And they're like in that office, getting it done, 1, 2, 3. And of
Definitely.
course, you know, in the area, there's quite a few plastic surgeons here in Indian River County, up in Brevard County, where we are. We have seen, you know, quite a bit of their work as well. You know, I researched it, and believe it or not, of course, the number one reason people go under the knife is age, right? They they're 50, they want to look 30. They're 40, they want to look 25. So that's a big thing.
I think that it's really surprising. I feel like in the last 3 to 5 years, the number of people I know that like I either went to school with or even younger than I am that are getting surgery, and not necessarily, you know, a facelift or something of that nature, but the fillers, the Botox, the BBLs, which, Jesse, if you don't know what a BBL is, it's the Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, okay.
And it's all of that. And I think it's so driven by social media, and they see these stars that are probably in their 30s or 40s that have these tight bodies, and they're like, I want that. And instead of saying, let me go to the gym and work on it and, you know, try to achieve it more naturally, it's like, oh, let me save up $5,000. I can hop on a plane to Mexico and get this done. And then that's that. So it's definitely shocking. I won't forget, I was on Snapchat, and this girl who's like my sister's age was like posting her recovery. And I was like, oh my goodness, like you're 24 years old getting a butt lift.
Yeah.
It's like shocking, because then you think like these implants or anything that they're putting in your body, they're not meant to live, you know, be a long forever life. At least I don't think so. No. And so it's like, what are you going to go back at 30 and get another one, or 50 or 60 get another one? It's like, I don't know.
I don't think the younger generation thinks of it, you know, really in the long term. No. But I feel
instant
like
gratification, isn't that everything? And the fillers and the Botox, and, you know, grew up in a time where people didn't think about like, oh, she has big lips. Oh, she doesn't have sometimes having big things was not the in thing. Right. And now it's like everyone, you know, for a long time, people overdrew their lips. And then when that didn't become enough, then it's come with the fillers. And I mean, I have clients that, again, young 20s, mid 20s, that I know get, you know, Botox and fillers, and they're like, oh yeah, they tell us it's a preventative. And I'm like, first of all, can you tell me what ingredients you're putting in your face? No. And then can you tell me what that's going to look like in 20 years when you've been putting it in your face? And then I think about, you spend $600 every 6 weeks for the next, you're not going to stop. You're not going to one day be like, oh, I'm okay with wrinkles.
Well, and then I think that's what happens. So I think the younger generation is into the fillers and the Botox and very much into plastic surgery for their bodies. And I think the older generation is basically from head to toe. They're looking for that plastic surgery, whether it's to look younger. One of the top 10 reasons is for a partner. Now that upset me because I don't feel anyone should do anything that drastic for, their better half, so to say. And it looks like their better half wants their better half to look even better. So it becomes a whole to do.
It's like, when did it become not okay to age?
I know.
Because I think that's the thing. Like, when it comes to the partners, it's that, like, okay, say you have a successful man, maybe in his 50s or 60s, right? And he's single and he's looking for a wife. When he can have a 30 or 40-year-old that is 30 or 40, but he should be going after somebody maybe more his age, that lady may think, oh, I need to do this, that, and the third to look like a 30-year-old. So it's like that constant competition. And that's what I think is hard about, social media. It's not so much just the filters anymore. It's these fillers, and it's like, and everybody isn't honest about it. So a girl may look at a woman and think, oh, that's natural. And why don't I look like that? And it's like, honey, it's not natural.
If they saw them a year ago, like, let's bring it up. I hate to use their family name, but the Kardashians, you see them from one year to the next, they could look completely different. They have gone through so much plastic surgery. And it makes me sad to think that beautiful girls, in their 20s and early 30s really think that's the way to look. I mean, when did that become normal to have, features like that? I mean, I don't know.
And now it's not only the typical as we think plastic surgery, because like when I think plastic surgery, I think like butt, boobs, face, but now there's like so many different procedures you can have, non-invasive, and then the cool sculpting, and the this, and the threads, and the this. So it's like, I don't think the Kardashians maybe every year go under like the knife, but I do think that they utilize all the latest technology out there. But if you have to think about a woman who has no cameras on her, nobody looking at her social media, that's 60 plus, that's getting plastic surgery. How do you think a 40-year-old woman, that is constantly under scrutiny? I mean, do I think that they need it? No. Do I blame them? No, because if they were walking around with a little bit of cellulite, that's all people would talk about. Right. So it's like, what would you rather? People talk about you for getting beautified or talk about you for being natural, So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you can't win, but I think you do have to find a good surgeon, and you have to be sure you know what you're getting into. I mean, there are movie stars, they ruin their careers because of plastic surgery. Yeah. They, finished a movie looking beautiful, and then the next thing you know, they're kind of shunned out of Hollywood because they kind of look like freaks.
When you think of somebody, we'll do celebrity, that comes to mind, who comes to mind first off the top that had not great surgery? I'll tell you who comes to my mind. And I don't know if it was surgery. I think it was. But Mariah Carey, I felt like she used to be so naturally beautiful. Right. And then I remember, like, I saw photos, like, yeah, and she kind of had
the mouse
like, or like the Miss Piggy look.
They puff up the cheeks. They got
yeah. So that was the first person that came to my mind. What about you?
She made all the sweetest movies. Who am I thinking about? Oh, I can't think of her name right now. Yeah, she was in Sleepless in Seattle. She was in all those cute.
Meg Ryan?
Meg Ryan, yes. Yeah. She had tremendous surgery. From like 1 minute to the next, she looked like a different person. And also another one was Renee Zellweger. She also, I don't know. I don't, what they're thinking. And they're a lot of times too young, way too young.
Yeah.
Who's the woman in, I think it was Dirty Dancing with Patrick Swayze?
Yes.
And she got a nose job, yeah.
Yes, and that ruined her career.
Yeah.
Because she was portrayed more as a character actress with her larger nose. And then when she did have her nose fixed, she couldn't get a part. Yeah, Jennifer Gray. Yeah,
That's right,
That's
yeah.
true.
But do you think, like, let's just say, well, I don't want to use your nose, but like, let's say you had a feature. Well, let's say you had really small lips, right?
Yeah.
And it was something you were self-conscious about, and maybe people picked fun of it, and you had the financial means to get fillers in your lips, would you?
Yes. I think because then it becomes a psychological factor that, let's say you were bullied as a child. It could also be for women who, are very small on top, that they were bullied as children, that they didn't have, much bosom. And it becomes an issue. So psychologically, I think there are a lot of men and women who do go through plastic surgery because of that as well. Absolutely.
I think it's just become not like the norm, but I definitely think it's become more like common, like not like, oh my God, she had plastic surgery. It's like, oh, she had a facelift,
Right.
and you keep it moving.
Right.
But 10, 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't something talked about. And if you had it, when I think about 30 years ago or 20 years ago, someone having plastic surgery, they probably had, 4 children, their bosoms were down to their belly button,
Right.
and they, wanted to feel better.
Right.
Not, like we said, the younger generation, not
Right.
so much men, but I think it's become more accepted,
Yes.
the
I
plastic
believe
surgery. So,
Yeah.
and when you were talking about psychological, it made me think, I know people that have had the plastic surgery, like weight plastic surgery, either like the gastric or
Right.
things of that, and then they lose a drastic amount of weight.
Right.
And it's a psychological thing, because when you're so used to looking at yourself in one way,
Yes.
and then it's like a whole different thing. So I think there's a lot of like emotional and mental
absolutely.
that you go through. And I would be curious, I'm sure some, not regret it, but it's becomes a lot. I've heard, I did some research about
I'm
that.
sure.
So.
Well, we'll take a break and we'll be back talking more about, are you ready to go under the knife for your beauty?
Need an enlightening pick-me-up? Visit Kristen and Cindy at Skinergy to energize your skin and keep it looking fabulous forever. Kristen can help with hair removal, sugaring to keep your whole body smooth and conditioned. Kristen will help you refresh and defend your skin while giving you a customized facial. Cindy helps skinergize and get you camera ready for your everyday look or special occasion. Visit Kristen and Cindy at Skinergy. Find them on Facebook under the Skinergy Squad.
At Compass Pest Control, we focus on killing pests where they live and breed by terminating them outside your home or office before they can get in. Hi, I'm Chris Hudman, co-owner of Compass Pest Control. We prevent roaches, ants, and other pests from getting inside with a proactive approach. We don't stop there. We also offer lawn and plant health programs. And we'll never sell you something you don't need. At Compass Pest Control, our prices are competitive, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Get a free estimate. Visit compasspests.com.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Who's got time to clean? When you need it clean, call Germ Wizards LLC. Using the most up-to-date equipment, Germ Wizards pays strict attention to detail. They make dust disappear. Whether you need your office to sparkle, your home to shine, or you want to give someone a great gift, hire the Germ Wizards. It's easy to get a quote online. There's even an online portal to discuss details directly with your cleaning professional. Visit GermWizardsLLC.com. Make dust disappear with Germ Wizards. The law offices of Goldman, Monahan, Tucker, and Bettine is here to help you with your personal legal challenges, business needs, and real estate matters. Since 1984, we have assisted countless numbers of Florida individuals and businesses with their legal issues, from trusts and estates, wills, real estate, and civil or criminal litigation. We pride ourselves on maintaining lifelong client relationships and would appreciate the opportunity to assist you and your family as well. Please call 321-639-1320 for further information on the law offices of Goldman, Monahan, Tucker, and Bettine. I'm a non-attorney spokesman.
we are back talking about going under the knife for plastic surgery. At what point does your beautification call for it? And we've been talking a lot, and I'm glad to have my co-host, infamous esthetician from Skinergy, Kristen Heath. And
Happy to be here.
Thank you. And I think we're about to put Jessie on the hot seat. But before we do, what another point that came up in the article that I read about is your career. Sometimes in your career, if you're older and you feel like there are younger people coming in, you may need to really boost, again, psychologically boost your look and your whole attitude. And I think that could play a big part in why people do get plastic surgery. It's so competitive out there nowadays. So
I have a question for Jessie.
All right.
Do you have an opinion as a man if a woman was to get plastic surgery? I know you're happily married, but if your wife was like, Jessie, I think I want to go get some Botox for my wrinkles.
I tell her she doesn't need Botox. We're in our early 40s. Not to give anything away, but I don't think she needs Botox. But she does go and get Botox, and so yeah.
Jessie.
Oh, should I not share that? Well, all right. Secret's out, everybody.
Oh no.
My wife does get Botox, but she doesn't need it. But I think it's for herself, really.
Right. You see.
It's kind of for her own self-esteem, I think, a little bit.
Would you ever get Botox?
I wouldn't.
Does your wife staying looking young, less wrinkled, if she continues, would that make you feel any type of way as you both age? If you're 60, full of wrinkles, and she's pristine, would you feel any type of way or no?
I mean, when you say any type of way, would I be mad about it?
Maybe I should.
Maybe I should get some Botox too to kind of match. I mean, listen, I'm against it now. Will I be against it in 20 years? I don't know, but I'm kind of glad I'm a man, and it's a little different from men. I think we're allowed to age more gracefully. I have little gray hairs coming in, and my wife told me not to color it.
Don't
let it go natural. Yeah. And I'm proud to just kind of go natural.
And as us women, we get one gray hair and we're off to the hair salon.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm kind of lucky, and I feel a little bit lucky that I'm a man. I can just kind of let it go natural, and we're allowed to age naturally, gracefully, and you
less
ladies,
pressure.
Yeah, there's a lot more pressure on you women.
Yeah,
yes,
women.
Well, thank you for your input on.
Thank you for your honesty too.
Yeah, your poor wife. If you get yelled at tonight, it's not our fault.
Well, she's beautiful. She does not need it.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly. So again, I think it goes back to that. A lot of it is for self-esteem that I know this has been talked about. When we look at ourselves in the mirror, it's not the same image that somebody else sees us.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Definitely.
I'd like to get a scientific person to talk about that, because, you see something and the other person will be like, what? What
that would be a topic also to talk about. Like, I was doing a little research on body dysmorphia and almost age dysmorphia. But when you look in the mirror,
right, and
you don't see what other people, I don't know how honest we're going to be. But when I look in the mirror, I know that I could lose a few pounds, but I don't look in the mirror and I'm not unhappy with what I see. I feel beautiful. I feel confident.
That's
my
so
partner
important.
Makes me feel beautiful and confident. So I think that, but that also could be a negative, because if you look in the mirror and there's nothing wrong, and you go about living your life, you can also be a little bit in denial. But it's also the people that look in the mirror that are perfectly in fine shape, that are nitpicking at themselves.
So critical about themselves. Yeah, that's also a problem. But that could be caused by their partner, I would hope not being extremely rude and telling them they need this, this, and this, but in a nice way, possibly saying certain things, maybe you should try this, or maybe you should try that.
Or let's do it together.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
I think comparing yourself to anyone, is whether it be a partner, social media, a friend, it's never a great thing. And also, with that, I know we go off topic all the time, but comparing yourself, it may look great on the outside, but you don't know what's on the inside,
That's right.
I see different walks of life of people every single day, and you look at someone and you're like, wow, that person's gorgeous. And then I look under the hood and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
That's right.
never judge.
No. No. And I know a lot of women and men, they have, celebrities that they look at in awe, but I mean, to go under the knife to look like a celebrity, I mean, I've heard that. I've heard plastic surgeons say, oh, I had this one patient who came in and wanted, I don't know, who has a great nose. I wanted so-and-so's nose. I wanted so-and-so's chin. I wanted so-and-so's cheekbones.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
saw on that Botched show, which is crazy.
Yeah, we didn't even bring that up.
They have a whole show based upon surgeries that are messed up because people go to,
That's
it's always,
right.
I feel like on Botched, those are the extremes. Like,
Yes.
you never see like, oh, I went for like a little tummy tuck and it's like
Right.
horrible. It's, I went and I wanted to be Ken doll.
Right.
And it messed up, and I didn't realize some people nowadays are getting ribs removed
Oh, yes.
to get that really tiny waist. They're getting like bones changed. It's like, oh my.
I don't understand. I know. And I, in a way, fault the plastic surgeons for doing it. Now, Botched, if people don't know, Botched is a show where there are two California plastic surgeons who will take on plastic surgeries that have gone bad. It's it's a good, should I say it's a great show. It's a show that you see a little bit more humanity, and these two guys are really willing to help certain people who have gone through bad situations with previous plastic surgery. But I give them a lot of credit because there are women who come in, out to here, and they're like, sorry, we're not pumping them up another cc or whatever. They do feel like enough is enough. Mm-hmm. And I think they can see when somebody comes in and they've had, 5 surgeries, and they're like, look, you're really going to damage, what you have if you continue doing that.
It's like almost like there's qualifications medically
Yes.
to get surgery. I feel like they almost need to go through like, you need 6 months of therapy.
Right.
And when your therapist signs
Yes.
off, then come back and see us.
And you know what? I'm sure they do that. I'm sure there are plenty of doctors for all different types of surgeries that do that. I know you mentioned the weight loss surgery. I know people have to go through several months of psychological analysis before they do that because they want to make sure that the people will, succeed and they're ready to do something like that. But plastic surgery, plastic surgeons, they're all about
I don't even think they call it plastic surgery. I think it's almost like cosmetic surgery
cosmetic surgery.
nowadays.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
What would you say is probably the number one cosmetic surgery in America?
Oh, I would probably say the boobs. Yeah. That's what I would say.
What do you think, Jesse?
Oh, I don't know. Judging by some of these TV shows I've seen lately, I don't know. I might be lips.
Yeah.
If you put that in the one category, I've seen a lot of
When did it
lips.
become popular? when you take a picture, go like
I
when
know.
did that? I feel like
And
that
stay
was
like that.
yeah. So it's like people that naturally walk around like.
I know. I really, I don't understand it. But listen, again, at what level do you go under the knife for your beautification? And again, it's not for us to judge. It could be a psychological situation from someone's past, being bullied in school for all different types of reasons. It could be maybe sometimes women or men go through a divorce and come out of a divorce and they want to feel refreshed and they want to feel renewed. So it's not for anyone to judge, but I do feel, do your homework, make sure you have a great doctor, and be sure you're going to understand the consequences. And for the young women and men, be careful, because long term it could be a situation. Any final words, Kristen?
Thank you for having me, as always.
Of course, thank you. So be careful when going under the knife.